is crazy tonight. La 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 la. Mercato is crazy tonight. La 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 la. Mercato is crazy. Ah, la 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 la. Mercato is crazy. Ah, la 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 la. Mercato is crazy tonight. Mercato is crazy tonight. Mercato is crazy tonight. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing well. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all the people that are still celebrating. We are the 27th, Christmas was on the 25th, but we are still here. It's the first live I am doing since these festive days, and what a live, because we'll speak about Mercato. Bomba news, I left you with some names, we come back live with other names like the one of Rashford. Where is that coming from? Attenzione, all the truth about the Rashford. But we have also other names like Dean Huijsen, Hancko, Antonio Silva, Tomori, Danilo, Douglas Luiz, Danilo again, Cope Manners. We have Nico Gonzalez. We have an update about the people that were training. We have people on the market, people off the market. We have a lot of things to discuss about all together. But first of all, hello and welcome back. Akrepi, Naruto that is there. Ciao from the bus. Emiliano is there as well. Ciao Emiliano. Ciao. Kalija. Never ever let Marcus Rashford anywhere near this club. I see that there is already a big battle into the chat. People pro Rashford, people contra Rashford. You know what we will do immediately before this discussion will heat up? We will already ask with a poll. Rashford, yes or no, if it was according to you. So I'm not asking you what you think will happen, but what you would do. Rashford, on loan, would you do it? Yes, Beppe. No, Beppe. As easy as that. Yes, Beppe. No, Beppe. Sometimes it's easy to make these polls. We don't have to always overcomplicate the votes. So you have now the possibility to vote here on the channel. Buongiorno, Sir Raz. Ciao, Loca. Ciao, my friend that is asking if everyone in the chat is doing well. Kupi Kupi, Doogie Doogie, and Danilo are recovered, but Gonzalez is in doubt. That's not really what the truth is about Nico Gonzalez. We will go towards that. We will start with the update about the J Medical and La Continassa first before entering Mercato. Buongiorno GTA, ciao everyone. I will watch later because of work. Ciao Endrit, Rashford is good or not? This is the question that we are asking at the moment, and people are quite divided in the chat. I have a pleasure to have a call with I was about to say Nico Gonzalez, but no, that's not true. With Nicolo Schira earlier today, so I believe it was 1 hour ago. So we have also updates, not only with the tweet, but on the phone from Nico Schira that I will try to report you as good as possible about what he said, because he gave us an update about Tomori, he gave us an update about Hancko, he gave us an update about Antonio Silva and Danilo. Buongiorno Anthony Schifano. Ciao Giulia Olivera Rebic. Nah, to neither. Giulia doesn't want. And Rashford and Zirkzee. Attenzione, because here we are going even further than Rashford. Here Giulia is speaking also about Zirkzee. Buongiorno Giulia. I love when we have the tifose, the Juventine on the channel, because that means that we have a beautiful community. Men, women, old, young, kids, grandparents. We have people from different cultures. I'm always extremely happy for that, because otherwise Juventini of the world would make totally no sense. Ciao Shadow 975. Ciao LJJ. Ciao Steve Cano, buongiorno. Mikey Savasta, that is there as well. Let me check. Vic, buongiorno Juventini. Jorge is there as well. I'm gonna crash out if I see Rashford near you. But pay attention, because at the moment, I tell you, the votes are quite balanced, more than what you would possibly think. Buongiorno Tyler, Zach from Bahrain. Beppe, how can we stay in contact about Saudi Arabia meetup? That's a good question that I want to start with before entering the details. So as you know, my beautiful Christmas gift is actually my visit to Saudi Arabia. I will be there from the 2nd to the 7th. Of course, the 2nd will be dedicated to travel because I will leave with a plane at 8 a.m. in the morning. So leaving super early from here in Belgium. From my house, then arriving there it will be 7 p.m. where I will meet some people, so forget about the 2nd of January. The 3rd is the game day. It's also Friday, game day, and then we have Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully, let me check. Hopefully on the Monday we have a second game with Juventus. So the opportunities to meet are not that much because I don't know yet what people, local people there that invited me, planned for me, but I am nearly sure that the game day I will try to communicate with you, so follow me on Instagram, follow me here on YouTube, so on Telegram also, because I will try to communicate you where I will be the game day, in front of what entrance, maybe a bit earlier before entering the stadium, so that we can meet, that we can have some hugs, some handshakes, some pictures together. But speaking about Juve before the game starts, that I think it's the easiest one. Then on Saturday and Sunday, I don't know, and on the 7th I'm leaving, but I'm leaving with my plane at 5 a.m. in the morning. So that means I will probably not sleep. If we go and play that last game, you know it's quite late. I will probably not sleep at all and go immediately to the airport. So it's quite tight, because honestly, except of the games, it's just Saturday, Sunday. But let's keep in contact to try to meet in front of the same. I think that's the easiest solution because I really want to meet as many as possible of you. And I will try, of course, to document as much as we can. Can you do a travel vlog? That's the intention. Then you know it as when you are a guest somewhere, you don't do whatever you plan or you cannot plan. You go with the vibes, with the people. But yeah, I will, of course, because it's a lifetime opportunity. I'm extremely happy about that. Who is excited? Let me know, guys. Who is excited about that Saudi Arabia trip? Beppe going there, having some footage also from the game, but also from the country, from the Juventini from Saudi Arabia meetups. Let me know what you want to see. You want to see mini games with people from the other part of the world. You want to have some conversation. You want to have a video dedicated with some local people. You want a vlog. Let me know what you want in the chat because we'll try to do as much as possible. We'll try to maximize these kind of things. Loka is excited. Happy for you, Beppe. Hope you can see and enjoy Saudi Arabia from all aspects. That's what I'm sure about it. I'm not even doubting. Ciao, Beppe. Can't wait for the content about the Supercoppa. We will stay awake with you. Grande Zwartwerk music. All is there. Me, I am excited. Okay. Ciao Junior, ciao Grande Junior. Wavy is really excited. He said, Beppe, me and my friends and brothers are very excited. Safe travels, brother. Thank you, my friend. Do a dance with McKenny if you find him. But guys, I don't go with the team. I don't travel with the team. Maybe I can have the opportunity to see them from the distance. Who knows? Maybe if we are walking, maybe I can meet them, but I'm not sure. Okay. Now that we said the intro, we are not that many of the people. And maybe people are working. Maybe it's too early to do these kind of lives. I love to alternate as well with the early afternoon lives or the morning lives in USA. Even if in Saudi Arabia, for example, it's already 4:30 p.m. I love to alternate to give a chance to a lot of people to also be present during the live. We are, I tell you, 35,143 Juventini of the world here on the channel, so thank you for that. If you didn't yet, please put a maximum of likes so that the channel can be spread, that video, the live can be spread with more and more Juventini, because we are only with 59 likes, which is absolutely not a lot absolutely not a lot. So if you can put a maximum fly, because now we start speaking about Juventus Football Club. Oh, maybe a picture with Tomori. He will be there. He will be there. Will he be on the pitch or not? That's another question, but he will be, of course, there. And then maybe he will come back with a plane with me, with Beppe. I will take him with me and I will bring him to Juventus Football Club. Ciao, Paul Lombardi. Ciao, grandissimo. He's looking forward to this live. Do you think something will happen the first day of the Mercato, Beppe? The first day, what do we understand with first days? If the first days are the second and the third, because Mercato opens on the second, no. No, I don't believe so. I think the first real big, huge movements will happen after the Supercoppa. So, we are there on the second, we play on the third. If we win, we play a final on the 6th. Don't forget, the Supercoppa is bringing us also 8 million euro. Huh? That's not bad. Huh? That's not bad at all. That's really nice to have on top of the participation already. So not bad at all. If we can take that money back home, would be nice. But I don't think that the third, the day of the semi-final, the 4th or the 5th, if we are still there, there will be a lot of movements of Mercato. The 6th, or we are still there playing the final, or we are already back in La Continassa. But I believe that that week, the week of the 6th, could be the week where the acceleration will happen, towards probably the end of that week, 9th, 10th. So that's where I believe the first things will happen. If we are eliminated after the first semi-final, probably a bit earlier. If we are still there, maybe a bit later. But I think, yeah, something can happen between the 8th, 9th, 10th, latest 13th, 14th, the real first movements. Roberto Pilato, thank you for a donation, my brother Roberto. Thank you for a donation, really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Beppe, it's a shame that Fagioli didn't bring any leadership into the dressing room. I remember in the seeing baby Fagioli in the documentary with legends like Cristiano Ronaldo, Nedved, Buffon, Pirlo, Chiellini, etc., etc. It's a beautiful question. I didn't want to start immediately with Fagioli, to be honest. I wanted to start with the update about La Continassa, but as you are donating, you have a priority over every other question. So, is it a pity? Yes, but honestly, and I'm asking also, and I want to involve the chat in that question as well, I have never considered Fagioli a leader. It's not because you are surrounded by leaders that you become a leader. The story of Fagioli is, if you are looking at it, it's not a leader story. It's not even a becomes a leader story, if you are really honest. Huh? It's a player that played with a youth academy that had a really beautiful future because he had a huge big potential before the story of next gen, etc., etc. Went on loan, came to Juve, was not even considered an undiscussed starter or the next big thing when he stayed. He really fought to stay at Juve, which he did well. Didn't start to play in the beginning of the season, then started to have his position thanks to a few injuries, thanks to his beautiful performances against Lecce, where we see 6 months, 22-23 of Fagioli that did really well at Juve, that could have become the next big starter. He starts the season, the season after, with much more trust from Max Allegri, with much more confidence and will from the Juventini to see him to be the player, the Italian player there in the midfield, where we see that something is not correct, not great. Juventus in difficulty. You remember that game of Sassuolo, we lose because of a goal that comes a bit from Fagioli, where he goes on the bench, cries. We understand that something is wrong. A few days later, we understand that this is linked to private situation where he totally disappeared from Juventus 23-24. Juventus didn't let him alone. And we always said here on the channel, maximum solidarity, maximum support to the kid. When he will come back, it will not be easy because that position that he gained thanks to his 22-23 changed. He will first of all have the obligation to come back at his level, also in playing time, because it's true that he was not injured, that he trained with the team, but training is one thing, playing games is another thing. Changing coach, changing philosophy. It's a player that has been focused, I believe, on himself more than becoming a leader in terms of I will now be the emblem of Juve, the icon. I think that before being really a leader for the other ones, you need to be convinced and have a bit of conviction about yourself. And I think that Fagioli, as of today, is still looking who is the real Fagioli. How far can the real Fagioli go? Can I go back to the promise that I was years ago? Or is that Fagioli probably not there yet? It's a lot of insecurity. And if you are insecure, if you're not 100% sure about yourself, it's difficult to become that leader at today. Then that in the future he can become a leader, why not, with the experience that he has? But also if you're looking at a Fagioli, Fagioli is not an extrovert person. He's really an introvert person. He's one that is quite silent. It's not the one that you see in front of cameras, etc., etc., etc. So I would be calm with Fagioli. It's a pity that didn't become a leader. Leader, you have it in you or you don't have it in you. Becoming a leader is extremely difficult, huh? According to me. Majed said, I agree with you, Beppe. Fagioli seems like more I don't want to say shy, even if it could be, but for sure an introvert person. That's a fact. Even in the Selling Depth vlog, you can see his extreme. Yeah. Also there. It's true. Opinion on Rashford. We'll go there. So let me give you an update about what happened today in La Continassa. So we saw two things. The first one is actually coming from Nicolo Fagioli on Instagram, but Bangula and others already posted it on Instagram. We see the winning team of today. The good news of the winning team of today is exactly the fact that we see in that pictures a Danilo that is back with the team. We see a Teun Koopmeiners that is back with the team. We even see a Douglas Luiz that is back with the team. So 3 players that for a reason or another were not 100% sure to be there against Fiorentina on the 29th. Danilo didn't participate the last game. Douglas Luiz neither. Teun Koopmeiners, he went out at half-time and was at risk. So to see them not only training individually, and that's what they did until yesterday, the 26th, but also seeing them incorporating the team, is a really great news, a fantastic news. Then, how far are they? 100%? Can they start the game or not? I think they can, possibly more Koopmeiners than probably Danilo, and in a third position Douglas Luiz, but it's good to have them. We know that we need a lot of players, not only for the Fiorentina, but also for the extremely crazy month of January. The other news is this one, individual work for Nico Gonzalez. Now, what Il Bianconero of Romeo Agresti is reporting here is that it's something that was planned with the club. It's nothing to worry about. It's not something that is unplanned, that we are now in the moment of what is happening, why Beppe, what is happening with Nico Gonzalez. Finally, we had him and he's again injured. No, it's a differentiated works. Probably, he come back from a long time where he didn't play. And he need to be managed in terms of training session, not always in terms of acceleration, etc., etc. That he will be there against Fiorentina, I have absolutely no doubt. Then, is it the moment now? Yes, to push on Nico because he's back? That would be, according to me, a mistake. Nico should not be considered today the Salvatore della Patria, which means, from Italian, the savior of Juventus Football Club, because he's back and now we cannot play anymore without Nico Gonzalez a single minute of the game. No, we have enough players there up front. We should be able to play with Nico, without Nico, even if we saw how important Nico Gonzalez is and was in the last 2 games for Juventus. But managing him, not risking at all. If he needs to start in second half, good. If he needs to start again in the first half and managing him with 60 minutes, then we do it exactly like that. But no, he's not at doubt for Fiorentina. That's an important news, guys. Important news. Will we see Milik in January? This is what Cristiano Giuntoli is hoping. This is what all the Juventini are hoping. And when I'm saying all the Juventini, I'm sincere that you like Milik or that you don't like Milik. I believe that seeing Milik in January is the wish of all the Juventini, because or we can recuperate him, and that's good for Juve because we miss some players up front in that kind of role with these kind of characteristic. 1. 2, if he's back, we can still possibly put him on the market, loan, saving on salary or not. So what does that mean? That people that do not want Milik, well, they need to hope, they need to pray that we see him again before the month of January in healthy conditions. Because a healthy condition, Milik can be on the market. Not healthy condition, Milik cannot be on the market. So I think that the people that do not trust Milik anymore, they want to see him healthy. The people that believe in Milik or that say, Beppe, we need to focus with our budget on the defense. So if we can recuperate a player like Milik, well, they need to hope as well. So in both situations, hopefully we can see him. Giuntoli confirmed a few times, but at the moment, as of today, I didn't see him. And we are the 27th of December. That's the situation on Arkadiusz Milik. Thoughts on Rugani bossing the Eredivisie? Well, pay attention. Bossing the Eredivisie is probably a bit exaggerated. For what reason? Because Daniele Rugani needed a lot of time before entering the mechanism, the minutes, the way of playing of his coach. What's the name? Fagioli or something like that. I don't remember by heart. Fagioli, I think. If you know, guys, let me know the name of the coach of Ajax. That is Italian as well. Huh? I have the face. I think it's Fagioli, but not sure. He wanted him there, and now he starts to play more and more and more. What is true is that the stats that has been reported lately were saying in the 11 appearances of Rugani, every time that he played, Ajax at the moment didn't concede any single goal. And that pushed. But I'm happy. I'm happy because it's a player that I have always appreciated. It's a player that I like. It's a player that sometimes I'm in contact with. It's a good guy. It's nice to see him because I remember that he did an experience abroad, Rennes, if I'm not wrong, in France, before going to Cagliari on loan, and abroad it didn't work really well for him, where he played nearly nothing, and he left after 6 months. So seeing him there succeeding with Ajax is nice. Indeed, Fagioli, I was right. Grazie, Endrit. Okay, and this is about Rugani. Mamma mia, today we go with a lot, huh? But it's, you know what is really, really, really bizarre, let me say bizarre if I can, is that it's a Mercato video, live, sorry, where Rashford is on the thumbnail, where Zirkzee is in the title, and after 23 minutes, let's say 20 minutes, if we skip the intro, I had questions about Fagioli here. I had questions about Milik. I had questions about Nico Gonzalez, about his individual training. I had question about Rugani. I had no question about Rashford. I had no question about Tomori. I had no question about Zirkzee. I had no question about Antonio Silva. I had question about nothing about Nunes Mercato. How come? Let me know, guys. How come, guys? Are you not interested in Mercato? Are you thinking about Fiorentina? Are you already thinking about the Supercoppa? Are you thinking about... I don't know. Why is it? Look at that. Rashford and Zirkzee doesn't interest me. Antonio Silva. I want to know about Antonio Silva. Serraz. Because it's not a good move for Juve. Mercato! Want to speak about Mercato. Because people, they know that neither Rashford or Zirkzee will come. Because we don't believe in... Attenzione. We sound so broke that I am not sure we can bring anyone. Vic the Stampede. Attenzione. Okay. The vote. Let me close the vote now, and then we go towards these names. Rashford on loan, would you do it? 42% said yes. 58% said no. So you see, it's not only no. Huh? It's not only yes. It's 42, 58. 58 won with no. Okay, what are the papers saying? Let me go towards the papers that are already opened, of course. Rashford has been offered, waiting for Zirkzee. If we put the first page a bit bigger, what can we see? United is offering the Englishman Rashford to Giuntoli. Motta prefers to wait for the Dutchman Zirkzee. And then they are speaking about the defense, which we will go through, of course, in a second. So that's the big page of Tutto Sport. Pay attention, it's not only Tutto Sport that is speaking about it, but Rashford offered to Juve. Okay, if we go into the double page, attenzione, we can really see here a Manchester United inspired double page. It's a lot of red, if we are counting also Antonio Silva here on the right side. Yesterday he entered 10 minutes against Wolves. They lost again. United didn't do really well. A lot of confusion at United with Amorim. It's not doing better than Ten Hag at the moment. So, of course, he's taking over a team in difficulty. They will probably do a lot in the winter mercato, and that's the first initial point that we need to take into consideration to understand why we are in that situation of Zirkzee, Rashford. So they want to do a lot to satisfy their coach. I am not an expert of Manchester United. I cannot tell you all the targets of United. There is one name that I know is a target that is linked a bit more to Juve. And that's a reality that I can tell you from clear sources. But except of that target, I don't know who are all the other names. No, it's not Yildiz, Endrit. It's not Yildiz. The name is not Yildiz. Oh, that they would love Yildiz. Why not? I'm not even sure. But no, that's not the name. I told you, forget about Yildiz. He will go nowhere. So there is a real name that Manchester United could possibly, it's even more Amorim, that could be interested in. But it's true that they want to do a lot. Striker, defender, midfielder, winger, left back, right back. I don't know all the players that they need. But of course, they have already a lot of players. They have players that are not working. There are some players that are out of project because they are not in the idea of football of Amorim. There are players that are out of project because of not the right behavior. Rashford and Garnacho, we saw the last times that with United, Amorim is going to set a bit of example of behavior more than skills characteristic. Rashford, that was playing a lot with Ten Hag, he was not even called up yesterday, and they are thinking to let him go. They are asking for 50 million euro. Rashford is a player that if he has been offered to Juve, of course, I would think like, okay, why? Because that's always the question. Why would they do that? Why would they offer him to Juve? That means that they have an idea behind their mind. No? Logically thinking. Otherwise, you offer him to nobody and you just say he's for sale. The first one that gave us 50 million euro, he can leave. But no. Has been offered apparently to Juve. That means that they have some interest at Juve. This is a logical question, no? Locke, I think, is a winger. Yes and no. Yes and no. If you're looking here, he's a player that is versatile. Yes, he played the most on the left wing, but he can play as a number 9. He can play on the right side. So if we are looking only at that, guys, only at this is a player, only at this, of course, that could possibly satisfy the desires of Thiago Motta and Giuntoli, because they are looking at players that can play in diverse position up front. if you're looking for a vice Vlahovic, but on top of that, we are looking at the vice Yildiz on the left, of thinking about Mangula, will he stay, will he not stay? Right side of the field, Chico Conceição. It's a player that can cover all these positions. So only here we can say, okay, it's also a right foot player. We have a lot of left foot players. A right foot player would not be bad. Has a contract until 2028. So they don't have that big, huge pressure to sell him or undersell him. It's more behavior, but it's a player of 27, born in 1997. So it's a player that is, or should be at the moment, at the peak of his career, has a quite high salary. So according to me, it's really difficult for Juve to go for a player like that. Really, because the costs are high, etc., etc. But how many times did we say here on the channel, Juventus up front is looking for an opportunity and probably not for a long-term player. This is why the names of Kolo Muani are still alive. Kolo Muani, Zirkzee, we'll come back on Zirkzee in a second. So players, but also if you are looking back, Antonio Silva, Tomori, all the targets of Juve at the moment are players that are in a way or another not playing with their team. So you can go or with players that are not playing because they are not good enough, or they are not in the tactical plans of their coaches, or because of behavior problems, because of affinity, relationships are not playing. If you want to go on the winter mercato, because let's be honest, a player that is tactically doing well, physically doing well, technically doing well, a player that is even in a good relationship with his coach and is playing, well, in January he is not leaving his team. Except if it's a player from, I don't know, Udinese, where you go with cash, boom, and he can do the upgrade for the player and also for the club, cashing in with an amount that you cannot refuse. But otherwise, from big clubs like that, no. Then, is it a possibility? Yes, but from what I know, honestly, and here we come towards the 58% of the people that said, Beppe, we don't want him. Juventus is aware of the name Rashford. Juventus received that offer. Juventus thought about it. Juventus looked at it. Juventus said, international appeal, can play on the left, can play on the right, has speed, can be a vice Dusan Vlahovic. It's a name that can be beautiful to bring immediately to the Supercoppa, a player that can be really beautiful also for the Club World Cup. Juventus is not interested in Marcus Rashford. This is at the end, after all the positive reviews, is the answer that they give back to Manchester United. Thank you, really appreciate it, nice, but this is not the player that we want for short term or long term. Especially not for long term, because it's a huge investment around these 50 million euro that even if you negotiate can go towards 45. But even the salary is out of proportion. We still have the Dusan Vlahovic contract that is high, that we need to review to check what we will do there. No, no, it's a player that is out of our plans. So no for Marcus Rashford. The player, because I didn't reveal the name, that United, honestly, was interested about from Juve, is Danilo. Is Danilo. A player that Amorim, but it's not new, We already spoke about it here in the channel. So for the people that are following the videos, the lives, you already know about it. But Amorim have a lot of consideration for Danilo. He knows him. He would love a bit of maturity in that locker room. A player that can play in all the positions in defense with experience. He would love Danilo. Danilo knows about it. Not sure if it will go through. Not at the moment. There are even other teams that are ahead of the deal. But Manchester United, if there is one player that Amorim would love to bring, it is indeed Manchester United. Akrep is saying everyone is interested in our Capitano. It's true, huh? It's really strange, huh? Because if we make a poll now and we think about, okay, Danilo, player of Juve, plus an extension for one more year, I'm nearly convinced that 85, if not 90% of the people will say no Beppe. No Beppe. Even if we all remember that fantastic Manchester City performance, no Beppe. No Beppe. And then you see that a lot of clubs, they really want Danilo. From Flamengo in Brazil, which will not happen. Why? Because Danilo, and guys, when I tell you that we will speak about Danilo also, it's important, huh? I show you the pages, guys. If Corriere dello Sport is opening with Danilo, said yes to Conte, priority to Napoli, Mendes is pushing Antonio Silva to Juve, it's now the moment to speak about Danilo before coming back on Zirkzee. Huh? Pay attention, huh? It's not over with Zirkzee. It means that, no, I'm not pushing Danilo out, guys. It's a reality that if we do a poll, tell me now, without doing a poll, guys, would you keep Danilo the continuity of this season plus one more season? Let me know. Why will it not go through for Danilo to Flamengo? Because Danilo was really in a super difficult moment, also mentally, the beginning of the season, where he thought, you know what, maybe give up, go in Flamengo, go in the country, feel well again, play with Alexandro. Flamengo is a beautiful club. I think they will also play the World Cup for clubs. It's a beautiful opportunity, but you say goodbye to European football. But lately, where he's playing, performance against City, beautiful performance against Aston Villa, beautiful performance the game after, he says, I still have something to give. Maybe not for 5 years, but I'm sure that I can still do something the rest of this season plus another season. And if I can do it in a club that believes in me, where I can play, I would take it into consideration. I will really take it into consideration. So pay attention for that one, guys. Danilo, that even if the words were, I don't leave, it was really a protection message. Like, I don't want to leave, guys. I want to be part of the project. I am the captain. Then, if the club says, then it's not on me, eh? Then what will I do? I will also not force to stay at Juve. Like, I refused also the participation of how many games I play will automatically renew my contract. You see? So it's a double situation of, yes, we hear nobody's really want to put a face on it, because from Juve putting Danilo out, it's not a beautiful image because you're pushing away your captain. From Danilo leaving, it's not beautiful because the captain is leaving Juve. So you have actually a situation at home where it's not ideal. Let's be honest. Both of them are not convinced at 100%, but none of them want to make the first step. Juventus would not say no if there is an offer for Danilo, because you save 4 million euro gross, which means 2 million euro net in salary. If you can even sell him for 3-4 million euro, well, Juventus could go out of that situation with cash to reinvest on other ideas that are more linked to the desire, the requests of the coach. Because let's be honest, Danilo with the coach, even if he can play in some games, if he will be played in some games because we are missing a lot of defenders, is a rotational player. That is not ideal to play as a right back, that is not ideal to play as a left back, that is not ideal to play in the center of the defense. He's an ideal player if you want to play a bit lower with your defense, but this is not the intention of Thiago Motta. You see? So we have some problems there, and it's true that Napoli is pushing for the player. There is even a possible interest of Milan for the player. Tomori, Danilo, Raspadori, Danilo, Rashford, no. But why not Zirkzee, Danilo? You see, it's a player that can join the future team with a contract of 18 months, opening the discussion for a player that Juventus is interested in from another team. So Danilo can be extremely pivotal and decisive with his answer in January, where he goes or if he stays. Hermano Francisco, Panita. Ciao Beppe, I'm going to the Juve Fiorentina game. We are going to win. Bravo! Hopefully we can get Colo Muani. Mamma mia, Francisco. Oh, I'm happy for you. Italy, that's always beautiful when you're doing that long travel. And on top of that, Juve Fiorentina is a beautiful game, a decisive game, an important game because we can reach them in the ranking. We can possibly also reach Lazio. And it's always a beautiful game to watch. There will not be the away sector because they are protesting. Fiorentina is always protesting for a reason or another. Thank you for the donation. But hopefully you can bring us good luck. Kolo Muani, because you're giving me that assist, is also there. An option like a Rashford. A player that Juventus will not count on long term. A player that cost way too much. Way too much. For Juventus, a player that if really in the last days of Mercato we didn't find the ideal solution that we want, ideal, there is no ideal, but the solution that we want for January, then he could be a player that maybe we go in talks like, okay, we take part of the salary for 6 months. And then he goes back to PSG, which will be actually a solution of we take the player, we benefit from the player's performances until the end of the season. He puts himself in a window like, I am a great player, I am a fantastic player, where Paris Saint-Germain, you have two situations. Or you don't play him at all and you take him away from that window. It's like a bit, in the moment of pre-sales, before the sales, what do you do? With things that you think are expensive, you are not sure if you can sell them. What do? You put them at the first floor there, where in the stockroom, where it's no access to the public, and you take him out only during the sales with minus 50%, for example. That beautiful piece that didn't sell really well, but it's still a valuable piece. You put it there and you say, well, I take some space in the shop for something else. Or you say, you know what? It's the few days before the sales. I will put them there already in the window. People can see it already. Can dream about it. And maybe can come, and instead of putting him immediately at minus 50, I will put him in the first round of sales at minus 25%. This is a bit the strategy of Paris Saint-Germain. If we cannot sell him immediately, we can loan him out for 6 months. He shows himself, and then maybe you can even have an option for him, but an expensive option, or he can go somewhere else. A bit what happened with Alcaraz, even if there are two different situations. Thank you for the donation, Francisco. I hope I answered well. And this is leading us to our Zirkzee. Zirkzee. Look, in Tuttosport, they are giving us a beautiful update. Thiago Motta is waiting for Zirkzee. If for Rashford, the answer is no from Juve for everything that I told you. Zirkzee is the offensive dream of Thiago Motta. It's a player that he knows. It's a player that probably the best season of his career, he did it last season with Thiago Motta. It's a player that was bought by Manchester 6 months ago, so he has still a quite high value. Salary increase, but it's still in the parameters of Juve. He's still young, 23. Juventus will try until the end to satisfy Thiago Motta for Zirkzee. They want him. Of course, then we need to speak tactically. Where do we see Zirkzee in that Juventus of today? I see already in the chat with my eye here a lot of time Dusan, because it's true. Where do we see him, Zirkzee, in that Juventus? Today I was reading Gazzetta dello Sport, for example. They speak about Antonio Silva, but before speaking about Antonio Silva, let's make abstraction of Antonio Silva. Let's not focus here. But if you see Conceição, Gonzalez, Yildiz, Vlahovic, where do we see Zirkzee? Where do we see him? Here is Rashford. If we go to our Zirkzee, it's a different player. It's a different player. Where do we see him? I personally would see him in that position of Dusan Vlahovic, in the idea of football from Thiago Motta, what he did last season with Bologna. But Vlahovic will not go anywhere. We know that the discussions for Dusan Vlahovic will resume in the month of February after the Mercato is closed, which means that Dusan will stay for the remaining part of the season. Then the future, we don't know. Are we going for a player potentially 40 million euro that we look for as a vice Vlahovic? I don't know. I think that we can find cheaper vice Vlahovic. Or you say we go with a loan of Zirkzee. We make him adapting himself to the team. We find him a position that can play the number 10 when Nico Gonzalez is playing on the right or on the left, or when he's resting because we need to manage Nico Gonzalez. He can play possibly here. He can play as a Dusan Vlahovic when Dusan Vlahovic needs to rest. But that means also that when Zirkzee is playing in that position, you change totally the way that you play up front. When Dusan Vlahovic, you play in a totally different way. Or can we find a way to play them, even both of them, more offensive? I don't know. But then it's really a really cheap loan with a nearly an obligation to buy, but with in your mind already, he is the one that will replace Vlahovic because he's gone, and maybe we can reinforce our attack next year with Jonathan David instead of Dusan Vlahovic. So you go with anticipating the signing of Zirkzee, knowing that Vlahovic will leave, but already with in mind Zirkzee, Zirkzee, Jonathan David for the future. Could be, eh? Could be. No, I don't think that Thiago will change entirely the entire team just because we have Zirkzee. I don't. But they will try. They want to try. I personally am scared about Zirkzee. I tell you the truth. He played really well last season. But I'm scared that it's not a player that is scoring a lot of goals. That's not Beppe that tells you it's the reality. It's a player that is not scoring a lot of goals. If you go to our transfer market, you can see it. This season, but at United it's tough, because they are really, it's really a problem. But you see it, 3 goals on 18 games, 1 goal in EFL. What is happening here? No, this. Last season, 34 games, 11 goals in Serie A, 1 goal in Coppa Italia, And that's it. So it's 11 plus 1, it's 12 goals. The season before, where he played 19 games, he scored twice. The only time where he scored really a lot of goals, it was with Anderlecht here in a Jupiler League. 15 goals on 2,000 minutes, but it was with Anderlecht, guys. Then you need to go back at 18-19 when he was playing with the under 19 in Bundesliga Bayern Munich, where he scored 12 goals. Or with the under 17. So you see 87 goals, but these are massively influenced by the goals that he scored with youth academy. If you really go towards first team, he played with Bundesliga, he scored 4 goals with Bayern in 1920 on 9 goals, but he's not a scorer, guys. Huh? Forget about him being a top scorer. I am honestly scared about a player that is good but will have difficulties at Juve to find immediately a role, to find the position with closed defense much more than when he was playing at Bologna, because we saw it also with Thiago Motta that has difficulties. Huh? Last year it was much more open for Bologna to play. This year it's much more difficult for Thiago. Zirkzee, I'm thinking that he will have a lot of difficulties. Then, if he comes, I hope he will do well, and hopefully he will make Beppe be wrong. But honestly, I'm scared that Zirkzee is not the player that will succeed at Juve. And it's a good player. I'm not saying that it's a bad player. I'm scared that it's not the player that we will succeed at Juve. Then if you tell me, Beppe, who do you prefer, Rashford or Zirkzee? I tell you Zirkzee because he knows the coach, because he knows Serie A, because he already knows the language, because it's a player that knows the mechanism and know what the coach will ask him. It's also a player that is not as difficult in terms of behavior than Rashford. It's a player that is younger. It's a player that has a lower salary. There are a lot of things that tells me, Beppe, choose between Zirkzee and Rashford. I tell you Zirkzee. For all these reasons. But is that the ideal player? I will continue to say it, and I know that people will laugh at me when I say it, but if I need to choose today to make an offer in January for a player, I go with, honestly, I go with Mikautadze. And people will tell me, Beppe, you're crazy. What are you speaking about, Beppe? We don't know him, but it's he didn't succeed at Ajax. I tell you, honestly, if I really need to go, I go for a player like Mikautadze. Mikautadze is a player that has more or less the same abilities in being able to play as a number 10. He has that dribble in him. He has the shot. He has much more that sense of goals, of assist, character. He wants to, and he's even cheaper. Lyon, they refused 17 million offer from Galatasaray plus bonus. If you go with 25, I can tell you that Mikautadze is at Juve tomorrow. Huh? And if he is a flop, Mikautadze, you will find, in 2 years, you'll find someone that will buy him. No problem. No problem. You didn't spend a lot. He has a really low salary. He's a player that wants to. He will play with a big team. He can play as a number 10. He can play, if I hear the name of Raspadori, that scored 5 goals with Napoli. 12 in total. 12 in total. Honestly. And I can be wrong, huh? But if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's okay. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's 24. He's the same age, well, a bit older, a few months older than Zirkzee. French passport as well, born in Lyon. So he's also from south of France. Lyon is not that far from Torino. So he will not be even in a total different world. It's okay for him. He's a player that is already shining with the national team of Georgia. 15 apps, 4 goals, and he didn't even start a lot because they always preferred him Lacazette. 4 goals here, 2 goals in Europa League. He played with Coupe de France. 1 game, 1 goal. If you're looking at all season of Mikautadze, it's a player that he already scored his goals, 13 with Metz in Ligue 1, in Ligue 2, 23. I would go, and look at all the positions he can play. He can play as a we are speaking about a center forward. He can play as a second striker, can play on the left, can play on the right. Why are we doubting? What are we waiting for? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Let's go for him. Okay. So, honestly, I would do that. I see Colo as well in the chat. He said Beppe. Colo has the same feeling as me. Colo has the same feeling as me. He's saying, Beppe, honestly, I don't have really good vibes about our boy here. Where is Colo? I saw the message of Colo, but I lost it. How come? Why did I lost the message of Colo? He disappeared. Huh? Here he is. You see? Zirkzee scares me, to be honest. I don't trust. I agree with Colo. Now, forget about Gyökeres. Forget about him. Nothing. We said it earlier. I know that you entered a bit later, which is totally normal, of course. You don't know what we spoke about, but we said it's totally normal. So we already spoke about him. No stress about Nico Gonzalez. It's normal, of course. It's a player that you need to manage. Oh, it's not because he's back that he's now 100%, and we know it. It's a player that you need to manage not only during the games but also during the during the training sessions. He will be there against Fiorentina. Oh, except if tomorrow something happens. Hopefully not. I don't think so, but otherwise not. Beppe, which one defender would you like to sign in January? And that's where we open the discussions about the defender. We spoke about Zirkzee, Rashford, Fagioli, Nico Gonzalez, about the players that come back. And we spoke about Danilo. We spoke about Mikautadze. We spoke about, I think, a lot of players. We didn't speak a lot about defenders. Is there something that I miss about the players that we just mentioned? We even spoke about Rugani, by the way. Nino is saying, Beppe, I love your sweatshirt. Let me show you. By the way, do you know the sock of Juve, of the Christmas sock? Wait. I had two names in it. I had the name of, I'm not joking, Mikautadze, and I had the name of Leoni. Mikautadze and Leoni. You tell me, Beppe, who is Leoni? Beppe, who is Leoni? Anthony, he knows. Young player, 18 from Parma. Juventus is interested in. Not, calma, guys. Not as in January, the defender immediately to replace. But Juventus, they're interested in Leoni. You see, now people are Beppe. Oh, attenzione. But I had Mikautadze in there. Then, if Giuntoli will listen to me or not, that's another question. I don't believe. He's not listening to me, and this is annoying me. No, Mikautadze is not a right winger. Can play right winger, but he is not. I love Juve has that he's saying, Beppe, who is Leoni? And then I like intelligent players immediately. because he saw on transfer market. Grande. Oh, you know what broke my heart today? This. You know that I'm always try to be honest with my emotions. That my emotions doesn't. How can I say? The emotions I have are not always valid, correct, or rational. Let's say it's emotions, guys. I always told you, oh, guys, he wants to leave. Ciao. The chill guy. He wants to leave. Ciao. While, since he was at the youth under 17, I always pumped him here on the channel, telling you that he's a fantastic defender. He will be the next big thing. And I always said, love him. Wait 1 second, guys. Phone. 1 second, I come back. Phone. Important. Maybe. Who knows? Sorry, guys. I'm back. Beppe, where are you? I had a call. Maybe it's Giuntoli that called me. He wants to know finally a bit more about about Mikautadze. He said, Pepe, you convinced me. Could be, eh? Could be, eh? You never know who calls me. Bravo. Golf knows about it. Could be. Or that maybe someone told me something. Could be. I will probably tell you later in another video. In the meanwhile, we were speaking about Dean Huysen, but here, let me cook. Ooh, to the moon and over the moon. Attenzione. That's nice. So, no, I told you. Him going to Bournemouth, I understood it. I explained it 100 million times. No regrets. Even if I continue to say, he's a player that he will become a top. I had no doubts about it. It was just not compatible at the moment with Juve. Of course, when you hear Real Madrid is on Dean Huysen, I will be angry. I tell you immediately, I will be angry. If he goes to Real Madrid, I will be angry. We have, I believe, 10% on the resale. It's not a lot. I will be angry. I tell you immediately. I don't know you guys, but my emotions are contradictory, are conflicting. Players, what did Nicolo Schira tell me? Nicolo Schira told me today, Hancko, if we need to make a podium of preferences at today, the 27th of December, is still the main target for Juve. Still. Continue to be the main target for Juve. The player doesn't want to go into contrast with Feyenoord. Feyenoord is quite difficult. They don't want to let him go in January, especially not in the beginning of January. Juventus, they know that they found everything. The price of the value. They found the salary. They found the agreement. And they know that what is true today cannot or can be totally different in the summer. I give you an example. Easy, huh? Not that much long time ago. You don't even need that huge big memory. Calafiori. Everything was agreed on Calafiori. Everything. Then, end of the season, he scores 2 goals against Juve. He's called up by Spalletti for the national team. He's doing extremely well at the national team. There is that new word that is linked to him, aura. You remember? People are starting to speak. International appeal. New contenders. Boom, 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 boom. You have Arsenal that is going for him. Juventus out of the market because the price totally changed. So even if you have an agreement in a few weeks, until it's not black on white with a contract with the player, already did the medicals there, everything can change. And Juventus is totally aware of that situation for Hancko. They found everything, but they know that if it's not now, who says that in the summer is there? And that also valid for the player. Because the player is saying, at the moment, Cabal is injured, Bremers is injured. If I go, I am an undiscussed starter of that Juventus. As a left back, as a center back, but I am a starter today. If they go for another player today, maybe that player will go that many or that totally crazy, doing well. They will sign him in the summer. Maybe they are asking another price for me. And maybe I will never go to Juve. Maybe the train will be gone. So from both sides, and Hancko and Juve, the idea would be oggi, today, to go for him. And this is what Nicolo Schira confirmed me. Then, of course, it's not because the player wants and because the club Juventus wants that he will join Juve, because you know that there is always a third player, and the third player is the club, and especially now that has the player under contract. And that's why Juventus is looking for alternatives, short term, long term. We heard the words of Jorge Mendes, reported by Fabrizio Romano. Let me show you. if I can. It was yesterday that were reported. Tweets a lot about Premier League, yeah? A bit too much. Yesterday they were playing. You see why I always say play the 26th. Play the 26th. Here. Antonio Silva, agent Jorge Mendes. Juventus want Antonio Silva and he wants Juventus. He is, no, it's not the words of Fabrizio Romano. These are the words of Jorge Mendes. That's bomba, guys. He's an important player with great qualities and admired by the biggest club in the world. The decision is on Benfica. Let's see. We have to wait for their call, told Sky Sport. This is a huge one, huh? This is a huge one from yesterday, yeah? It's not from 2 weeks ago, it's from yesterday. So he's admitting publicly, Juve, they want Antonio Silva. Antonio Silva wants Juventus Football Club. But he's, again, like Hancko, saying the decision is on the club that is owning the rights. He has a 100 million clause. The Juventus will never go for that. Benfica, they know that nobody will go for that. He's not playing. Since the last 8 games, he didn't play. He played like 1 game out of 8. He is not playing because he is in collision with the coach of Benfica at the moment. Player that Juventus would love to. The only difference with him and with Hancko is Hancko is taking 2 spots, left back, and he's a left foot player that can play as a center back. He's a player that is ready tomorrow. More or less the same characteristic at Bremer. Goes up to attack the player. He's not waiting for it. Here we are speaking about the 21 years old player that in Portugal they are seeing him as the future captain of Portugal. Then will it happen? Will it not happen? But they're seeing him as one of the pillars of the future of Portugal. Really, really, really huge, big potential talent. But also there, Juventus will try. And it will be more in hands of Jorge Mendes. And him going out with these words of yesterday that are huge, huh? Huge, can maybe accelerate, but we will count on him, on Jorge Mendes, to tell us what can happen. It's a big one. Big one. And then you have a third name, where I asked Nico Schira today, should we remove him from the list? And he told me, no. It was about Tomori. Should we remove Tomori from the list? No. Of course, it's different with Kalulu. Because Kalulu, why did they give us Kalulu to Juve? On a really cheap loan with a option, not even an obligation, option to buy. Because they were thinking that the player, he had 5 games in a row in his legs. And more than that, no. Hey, they were wrong. At the moment, they were wrong. It's a player that physically is playing game in, game out, game in, game out, game in, game out. And they say maybe we did a mistake here on Kalulu. But that's not the problem of Tomori. Tomori is not physically in a problematic situation. It's just that he wants to leave Milan. He said it clearly. He wants to leave Milan. There is at the moment not really a price by Milan. Milan, they know that Juventus want him. Juventus, they know that the player would go tomorrow. He would not even play Supercoppa with Milan. He would already be with a black and white shirt. But Milan, at the moment, they didn't put a price tag on it. Some people are speaking about 20-25 million euro for Tomori. Juventus, they know that if they cannot go for Hancko, maybe an easy plug-in situation is Tomori. To play with the defense that won the Scudetto. Tomori, center-back left. Kalulu, center-back right. There are more names than one on the list of Giuntoli. Podium is, at today, preference podium, not the one with the most chances. 1, Hancko. 2, Antonio Silva. 3, Tomori. This is the podium of preferences of Juve. The 3 situations are alive. Juve, Hancko needs to convince Feyenoord, not on going to Juve because that's okay, but in January. Juve, Antonio Silva, Jorge Mendes, more than Giuntoli needs to do the big work to let him go on loan. Juve Tomori, Milan, they should take the risk that they are offering for really cheap the defense that won the Scudetto to Juve. That's where we are in terms of defenders. Danilo leaving could potentially free up cash. Sorry, Beppe, not talking much since few days, but I'm sick as well. You know that I'm sick as well, guys. I think that I have a high cholesterol, which is bad, and I have always a dizzy head after midday. Yesterday I was on the coach. At the moment I feel really bad. So hopefully you get well soon, Giga. No, streams. We just spoke about it. Forget about Rashford.
It's time.
And Zirkzee. Why? There is a reason. Because Thiago Motta knows him. What are the news, guys? Before closing that live, is there something that we forgot? Let me check my list. Huijsen, we spoke. Hancko, we spoke. Silva, we spoke. Tomori, we spoke. Rashford, Zirkzee, we spoke. Danilo, we spoke. Douglas Luiz, Danilo, Koopman is back in training, we spoke. Nico Gonzalez, why he's training alone, we spoke. We even spoke about other possible options. I think we said everything, no? I think that we said everything. Here. We are growing, which is beautiful. I even asked more information about Antonio Silva to someone, and I'm waiting for the answer. Someone really close to the club, Benfica. Didn't see my message yet. When I have some news, I will tell you. But that's the problem. Huh? Is there, Abdulatif, is there a possibility to have both Antonio Silva? I think so. Hancko you sign, the other one you take on loan, depending on the conditions. But I really believe that Juventus, they want to go for 2 players in the defense. Today I was reading a title. Inverno caldo, I believe was the title. Warm winter or something like that. Hot winter. Caldissimo. Inverno caldissimo. And I believe that will happen. A really hot winter. What I'm scared, guys, is that we would love to do too much. And at the end, we will even do. But that we could possibly take the wrong decisions. I don't know yet. Let's focus first on Juve Fiorentina. Which is a big game that we're not speaking enough about. Before going with predictions about a next game, we don't even know who will travel, who will not travel. Guys, 5 minutes of bravo. Last game for Adžić to score to keep the challenge of a goal before 2025. It will be tough, huh? Monza would have been more ideal if Juventus would have done the job. If Juventus would have won like predicted or like hoped 3-0 at halftime, I'm sure that Adžić would have had more minutes. Now against Fiorentina, it depends. Are they really in decline? No, because the game against Udinese, they played well, but it's true that they are in a difficult moment. More mental morale with all what happened around the club that we are, and I said it a lot of times, we are a lot of time underestimating Fiorentina. I tell you the games that will be played starting from tomorrow. Cagliari Inter, I expect no surprises in that game. No surprises in that game. Lazio-Atalanta can be a beautiful one. Unfortunately, guys, we need to support Atalanta. That's a reality. And for the Scudetto race, so that and Inter and Napoli. Because when you need to choose, you choose for the less evil between Inter and Napoli and Atalanta. So until Juve comes back in a serious talk about Scudetto, which I don't believe will happen this season, Forza Atalanta in Serie A. Udinese, Torino, we don't care. Napoli, Venezia, I don't expect any surprise here. I expect a 1-0 win of Napoli or a 2-1 victory of Napoli. Juve Fiorentina is the big game, and then pay attention in the back, Milan-Roma. Roma comes from a beautiful 5-0. Milan, if I'm not wrong, they come from a 1-0 win, right? Yeah, against Verona, 1-0 win. So this will be the match day 18, the last game of the year. And then we close the first round with Fiorentina-Napoli. Huge one. Roma-Lazio. You will tell me Lazio is strong. Yeah, but it's always derby. You never know. Atalanta-Juve. And Inter-Bologna. Bologna is doing much better lately. Yeah? Even if the last game, how much did they do? The last game? Bologna. They won 2-0. Bravo, Anthony. Bravo. Fantastic. Questions, guys? We go with 5-minute questions. Should I put the 5 minutes countdown for Q&A about whatever you want? But seriously, whatever you want. Huh? You ask, and we pick the question. Start. Look, I even give you 30 seconds more just for you to prepare your questions in the chat. So that we have a... Dai, questions. Zirkzee over Rashford, we already spoke about it, and Rashford will not come to Juve. Aldo Bonasso. Ciao Aldo. Questions, dai, in the chat. Šeško shouldn't be impossible, right? Šeško has been analyzed by Juve as well. They like the player, but they don't think he's matching the value requested by his club. So forget about Šeško. What about Dusan? Contract will be rediscussed in the month of February. He's not really in the mood of accepting to spread the contract in terms of money. I think we go towards a last few months of Dusan with the Juve. I think. Who will be the player of 20? I don't know. Who will you get rid? Tomori or Silva? I would love now immediately Tomori. I would love Tomori. I prefer Antonio Silva prospect, but I'm not sure if immediately he would be able to perform as fast as we want, and also the costs are prohibitive for Juve. Will we see a player arrival before the Super Coppa starts? No. Sell. Fagioli sell. More than swap. I don't think that he will go to Napoli. Jan, Beppe, I would like to know, how are you Italian? Live in Belgium, can speak French and Dutch. Don't forget about Dutch as well. What do you expect from next transfer window? 2, hopefully 3 signings. 2 in defense, 1 up front. Skriniar, no. There is even an offer from Galatasaray on Skriniar, permanent. Openda, no. There were some talks, but no. Is 3 defenders incoming? No. 3, no. 2, yes. 3, no. Okay. No, we can't. By the way, Real Madrid is already on the player. Not really a question, but are Scudetto chances evaporated after Bremer's ACL? Yeah. Even if it was still a team that we were discovering, so we'll never really know, even if with Bremer we would have had the chances, but yeah. Impossible in January. Impossible. No, I don't think so. I think the first signing in the week of the 6th, but more towards the end of it. 9th or 10th of January. I think none of them. We cannot predict because we don't even know if we will qualify to Champions League. It could be a big mercato in exit if we don't qualify to Champions League. Shake. They won the money, Leverkusen. Juventus, they said, basta. Leroy Sané. As a United fan, I need a break from football. Join Juventus, Sachin. Join us. Birindelli to Juve. No. Could be, Could be because it's a dry loan to Genoa. Then will he stay? I don't know. Even if there were some beautiful words from Thiago Motta on Miretti before that. Christoph Piontek is top scorer Super League. Him to Juve? No, forget about it. 46 seconds to go. Hey, questions. Sachin, I would drive most of the players to Turin myself. I'm sure about that. I'm convinced about that. Your team is unfortunately not doing well. And people that knows me, they know that I have a soft spot for United in not that I follow, I'm not a follower or whatever. But if there is a team that I like a bit, even at the moment I like a bit Chelsea with Enzo Maresca. But I don't like that much Chelsea, Garnacho is a good player. But it's not what we need today. Bruno Fernandes. He was no. Favorite TV series for this year? Look, good question. It's over. Good question. I enjoyed a lot the 2 seasons of Arcan. That is not. Can we say anime? It's not really anime. But Arcan was fantastic. Did I watch Squid Game? Yes, I watched, and we watched with my son, and that's why I also have my head like that. We watched the 7 hours immediately, so we started and we finished it. Was it good? I loved season 2, but I will not spoil it, so don't worry. But I was pissed off with the end. You cannot end something like that. You cannot. This is not acceptable. You cannot. I will not spoil, so don't worry. How on earth did they even dare to end season 2 like that? That's all what I will say. And probably I missed one more game. I think that there was at least one game missing. But good. For the rest, it was really good. I really loved it. And there were even some moments where I was thinking, Mamma mia, they are starting to be better than season 1. Which was really difficult because season 1 was exceptional. But then they didn't close well, and I think that one game was missing. That's all what I will say. Arcan was really, I think, my surprise of 2024 in terms of, especially the first season, how good how good it was in terms of series. What else can I tell you that I loved in 2024? Give me a few examples, I will tell you my ratings. And if I watch it or not, but I watch a lot of movies also with my son, a lot of classics as well. Series that I watch in 2024, you need to help me, guys, because then my memory. Severance, I saw yesterday the 8 first minutes. Bah, I was not. But I loved the one. Huh? So I watched it 3 times, I believe. 1 time alone, 1 time with my wife, 1 time with my son. But the 8 first minutes were like Silo season 1 was fantastic. But I think it's more 2023, Silo season 1. While 2024 season 2 Silo at the moment is really slow. Extremely too slow. Look, I didn't even watch the latest episodes because I would love that they put, like all the episodes there and then I continue to watch, because like that it's not a lot is happening and then you need to wait another week for not a lot of things happening. Fallout, I watched and I enjoyed. But I would not put it as the best of 2024. Even if I think, was it 2024? I don't remember. Penguin, I think it's 8 episodes. I watched 6 of them and I gave up. I liked, Maybe I need to watch the last 2 episodes because a lot of people are saying really it was the best of 2024. I enjoyed, but I don't know if I would say the best of 2024 so far. Maybe I need to close it to really be able to give a judgment. Even if the Colin Farrell was fantastic. Did you watch From Beppe? From Beppe? I don't know what it is. From Beppe. Boo. From, no? Gladiator 2, if we speak about movies, yes, I watched and I have been disappointed. I know it's unpopular. I loved the first one. When they spoke about it in the beginning, I had not a lot of expectations, but then I started to see some reviews that were speaking about even better than the one. So my expectations immediately went like, wow, if they can do a better Gladiator than the one. But then I watched it and I it's not bad, it's not bad. But guys, seriously, no. The actor, according to me, he doesn't even can lace the boots of Russell Crowe. In term, when we were speaking about aura, charisma, it doesn't arrive at the boots. No, so forget about it. Zero aura. Then at a certain moment they are in the arena and you see like these kind of monkeys with 3D effects, and why? That you want to put monkeys? Why not put monkeys? But they were like a mix about Alien, Predator, Jurassic Park. No, it was really, really strange. The sharks. Oh, the sharks, I can even believe it because, and it's true, that back then in the arenas, there were also some that you could fill up with water and they were doing these boat against boat. Then, were they shark? I am not sure. If they were shark. I never went through Casa de Papel. I started 3 times and every time I gave up after 2-3 episodes. I believe the first time I even watched like nearly the entire first season, but it's not something for me. It's not working on me. I was disappointed as well in the movie with the elevator. I don't know if some of you, it's also Spanish. When you have that elevator on Netflix, I believe it's Netflix, but I don't remember the name. With food, what is the name? Not the beer. I watched the first season. I loved it. I start like the first minutes of the second season. I fell asleep. I didn't start back. But there is a movie with the platform. Bravo. The first is wow. The first, if you didn't watch the platform, the first one, watch it. The second that came out a few weeks ago, I didn't enjoy. Well, if you want to see a Juve documentary, you need to watch this one. Where is it? I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it is, but I will find it back somewhere probably. But it's called Black and White. As easy as that. It's called Black and White. I have the DVD somewhere, but it's called Black and White. Fantastic. High level. Wait, huh? I will show you. This one. Black and White Stripes, the Juventus story is fantastic, guys. But seriously fantastic, yeah? Wow, €129. I have a limited edition. DVD, but I don't know where I put it. Cube, also great. Maybe I need... Wait. Because with my son, we are watching a lot of fantastic classics. We are watching everything again. And Cube is something that he didn't watch yet. Good one. Good one. The Shogun. Let me check because the Shogun. I don't know if I started it or if I saw it or not. But I will write it down. We close. Or we don't close. Let me check. Last time. Bravo. I love when it goes up. You want the last question? Just for fun. And then we close. Yeah, no, Monster I know, guys. Monster I know. Aldo is saying big storm is coming, lots of lighting. I need to turn off. Bye everyone. Ciao Aldo, and we will close as well. Ciao Juventini of the world. Thank you. Maybe we see each other. Maybe with a video this evening. Can be that we change, instead of live in the evening, we do a video if something is coming from La Continassa or something big from Mercato. We never know. Ciao a tutti. Maximum of like if you didn't yet. That would be extremely appreciated. Let me say again, thank you to Roberto and to Francisco for supporting the channel with more than just a like. That is always appreciated, and the basics on the channel. Thank you to you guys for the extra effort. That is extremely appreciated. 205 likes. Not bad at all. Thank you, Stavros. Ciao Saras, ciao Nevan, ciao a tutti, forza Juve. Ciao.